Listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
ESPN 710, Los Angeles Sports.
And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland is on for your Thursday afternoon.
Ireland, best show on the radio.
Here we go. It is set, baby. Dodgers-Padres, the division series begins Saturday. And we've got your real Dodgers talk. The road to Robert's redemption has hit the playoffs yet again. Will it be any different? May says Dave Roberts, nice guy Dave, has to win a World Series. Will it happen this season? I mean, personally, I hope so. But Johnny I knows I'm ready with that bobblehead to smash. Bam! Plus, Thursday Night Football, Week 5 will be underway tonight. Rams get ready for the Packers on Sunday. USC gets ready for those stinking Golden Gophers. And yes, tomorrow night, Lakers preseason basketball begins here, right here, on your home of the Lakers, 710 ESPN. And you'll hear it as you'll hear every game in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app with the voice of the Lakers, Johnny I. So much to be excited for. So much to ponder, and yes, so much to talk about with great sports talk.
I love learning the behind.
So let's do it. Celebrating 20 years at ESPN Los Angeles, the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland.
I love learning the behind.
Your Thursday afternoon right now.
Good afternoon. Let's go for that as a drop.
What is the context of that drop?
The context was I was watching the McMahon documentary.
I watched it last night.
Okay,
I watched the first 2 episodes.
okay.
It's really good.
And it's great to see what's going on behind the scenes.
Oh,
so
I
I
see.
think
It's
it's great to see the behind is what I meant behind the scenes.
Boy, he's
What
a
do you
complicated
Oh,
guy,
he is
isn't
so complicated.
Well, I sent a note to you guys. Laura's here. Brian's here. Greg's doing the afternoon show, so you'll hear him in a little bit. But I thought to myself after watching it, I asked you the other day, how would you summarize Pete Rose's legacy? Like if you had to write the first line of his obituary.
Yeah.
Like what do you include? Does the first line of Pete Rose's obituary include the word gambling?
Yes, absolutely.
Has
it
to,
does.
right?
Yeah.
Does the first line of Vince McMahon, so he's younger than Pete and is going to be with us for longer, but does it somehow mention his legal troubles? Or is that come in paragraph 2 or 3?
It's probably paragraph 1. It's not necessarily the first line.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't he? He's a complicated guy.
Because I'm up to I watched
episodes 1 and 2.
So
how many episodes are in it?
I don't know. Last night I finished the one where he was in all the legal trouble. And by the way, what do they call that era where the wrestling was like really crazy? Laura, anybody? Brian, anybody?
Attitude Era?
The Attitude Era. That's exactly. Now, the Attitude Era, have you gotten to that, John?
I don't think so.
Pretty outrageous. By today's standards, oh, my God.
I just watched the episode where they boxed John Stossel's ears because he said wrestling was fake.
They got John Stossel, and who else did they get?
Richard
Belzer. Oh, Belzer got choked out.
Both sued. Both got a big settlement out of court.
Yeah, I think they slapped Stossel, who's an ABC reporter,
Twice.
aside the head, and he lost hearing in one ear.
In each ear, yeah.
Oh, both ears?
Yeah.
Oh, God. And then they just basically, who was it? Was a Hulk that choked
Put him in a
out
sleeper
Richard
hold.
Belzer?
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's a great, if you've not watched that documentary, it's great. You'll like the behind. All right.
It's called Titis.
Yes, it is. All right, so we got exactly the matchup we wanted, right?
Well,
we
speak for
all
yourself.
wanted to face the Padres in the first
Well, it's going to be good
round.
for content But all right, so when in the
I hope it just extends.
all right,
a little
when in
longer.
the games? Saturday night, Sunday
Saturday,
night.
Sunday,
Sunday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be doing a Laker game on Sunday, but Saturday night I have off. I can watch it in Palm Desert.
Yeah, Saturday I'm juggling USC and Dodgers. Sunday I've got Rams. I'll be at that game, and then Dodgers afterwards. I'm not making it to the first two. I'll go to Game 5 if there's a Game 5. I hope we don't need it. Oh, we don't even need a Game 5.
Go to Game 3, Mace.
You think it's a sweep?
If I were you,
No,
I
I
would
said
go
let's
to
go to
Game
3.
3.
Yeah, let's go to Game 3.
Well, Game 3's down there.
I know. Hey, Greg, we're going mobile.
Did you? By the way, did you hear? I don't want to pump the Padres at all here, but you know how at Michigan they all sing.
Yeah, oh, you think those
Mr.
guys in
Brightside?
San Diego that can't sing are going to make an appearance now? Remember
Hey.
those guys?
What, Blink 182?
No.
No.
Blink 182 is from down there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sing a Blink 182. This is
All
just
the-
the crowd song.
So that's their Mr. Brightside.
That's their Mr.
Sweet
Brightside.
Caroline.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And the entire stadium sings it. It's a great song.
I love that
What
song.
concerns me is yesterday I was working out. I didn't know all the Blink 182 business with San Diego, but yesterday I was working out, and that song
It's on your workout playlist.
came up twice
Oh, wow.
during my workout yesterday. I'm like,
Well, they
uh-oh.
don't get to co-opt ownership of the song. You don't have to delete it from your playlist.
No,
It's a
but
great song.
it's a very Padre song.
Like
as
I don't
it
like the
turns
Red
out.
Sox, but I still like Neil Diamond. I mean, you know.
Right? Yeah, sure. He's not to blame.
Right. They co-opted his song.
Yeah,
Boston.
that's
No,
what.
you don't remember, Brian. See if you can find
I
this.
found it. The one at the goose is loose.
Yeah. You
I
don't
got it.
remember these guys?
Oh yeah, the
Like-
fat goose that got
No.
loose.
These are four old guys who can't sing that went viral when they did this.
Philly going down to yellow and brown. That's what's in. Padres on the loose. Let's go, Goose. That's what's in. Bryce gonna lose, and Manny's gonna cruise. That's what's in.
These are four guys with no rhythm who can't
Give
sing,
Philly
and
no
they showed
slack
up on
and send
every
them back.
San Diego morning
That's
show
what's in.
when the Padres beat the Phillies.
So back, Philly.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're good.
There was that, and then
We
there
got that
was,
covered.
And then there was another. There was somebody else that was singing a Padres song that was really bad
Now,
too.
wasn't the goose thing? Didn't they have a goose that showed up on the field,
Right.
and then they felt like it was the lucky goose?
Lucky
or
That's
whatever
what's
it
in.
was. That's what's in.
Yeah, come on.
That was at KUSI, John.
that-
that was the original people that they sung.
Yeah,
about.
man. And Laura Buxton, my friend who works there, I haven't talked to her in years, but I used to work with her down there, was like telling them how great they were. And I'm like, Laura, they're terrible. What are you talking about? They
Yeah.
can't sing. They have no rhythm. And you could put them on TV. What are you doing? But they won.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think they should be favored.
Laura, you found a story. ESPN baseball experts are picking overwhelmingly the
Yes,
Padres to win the series.
81% have the Padres beating the
Well,
Dodgers.
until the Dodgers get over this losing when they have the best record issue, I don't blame the 81% of the ESPN analysts. And if playoff series are decided by pitching, the
They're
Padres
screwed.
have better pitching.
They have better starting pitching. Absolutely. And by the way, the Braves could have done us a favor last night, at any point, won one game, because then we would have avoided Dylan Cease, who has pitched really well against us. Now we're going to get Dylan Cease at Dodger Stadium on Saturday versus Jack Flaherty.
Do we get any baseball playoff games today? Or are they all?
I think there's one series
the
still
Mets
alive.
Brewers,
Yeah,
game
Mets
3.
Brewers.
That's the only one
That
still
one's going down to the wire. I'm kind of rooting for the Mets there.
Me too.
For my friend Sue Kalinsky, I'm rooting
Oh,
for the
Sue's
Mets.
a Mets fan,
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
I have
Long-suffering.
Mets
Long-suffering Mets fan. Well, there's tons of stuff going on, obviously.
Yeah, 4 o'clock, which is perfect because that's when I'm driving to the desert, so I can.
Oh, yeah.
How long is it going to take me? By the way, you've done that drive.
When are you leaving?
I'm going to skip the late crosstalk. I'm going to leave right after game of game, so I'll leave right at 3. Will I get there by 6?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, you're leaving
Okay.
early enough that you'll get there by 6.
3 is normally when it starts to back up.
Although,
but let's
really,
see.
you jump out there at 5, forget it. Like, we would
Yeah.
never, at our old time slot, I would never go out
Actually,
there,
if
drive
I
straight
get
out
there by 7, I'm fine.
Right.
I got a dinner I got to go to, but if I get there by 7, I'm fine.
God, it's that time already, huh?
Yeah, and so I'm out there for 4 days. I'm out there all through Sunday. I come back Sunday night, and I'll see you Monday.
Nice. You doing the show from out there? Tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
If our technology works,
Yeah,
which
sure.
is always a big if.
Exactly.
But
All
I
right.
think it's gonna.
All right. Coming up next for you, as my page opens. I want to get to this, John. There is a lot out there about Devonte Adams being traded.
I think they're going to trade him.
As Mike Greenberg said, it could be as soon as today.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be a Ram, but we found out by the most interesting way possible.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
That's coming up next. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, if you listen to the show, you know I love Teran. It's my favorite place to go, a luxury resort like no other on the cliffs of Rancho Palos Verdes. Spectacular ocean views you won't find anywhere else. You can literally sit in your room and look at dolphins and whales swimming outside your hotel room. 102 acres is Teran on the Palos Verdes Peninsula. 270-degree panoramic views. I mean, this place, and I've said it before, I've converted everybody that I work with here. Mace, back me up on this. I really can't explain it until you see it.
Yeah, I think that's totally, it is absolutely beautiful, great restaurants, unbelievable views. It's spectacular.
So you need to go see it for yourself. They have luxury accommodations. If you need a house, they got bungalows, casitas, villas. They got a golf course, 8 different dining experiences, award-winning spa. You can hike, you can kayak. The spa is great. I mean, what are you waiting for? Go to their website, Teranea.com, Teranea, Teranea. Teranea.com.
710 ESPN, the destination for LA sports this fall.
Here comes LeBron and slam dunk right in Paul George's face and a foul.
Lakers basketball.
Got it back. Another 3. Good. What a night for Austin Reeves.
Rams football.
Cup of the 6. Cup to the pylon. Touchdown, Cooper Cup. Touchdown, LA.
The USC Trojans.
Hands off the marks. Up the middle. Into the end zone. Touchdown. They're going wild in half of this stadium as the Trojans are going to pull off the upset. How do you do?
LAFC.
Oh, flip for LA Football Club.
The LA Kings and Angels baseball.
The all-new ESPN LA app, your destination for LA sports.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids.
Enter for a chance to win the ultimate winery experience at Francis Ford Coppola Winery. With airfare for 2, a 2-night hotel stay and a winery tour. Enter at ESPNLA.com. Must be 21 and a California resident. Prize awarded as a gift card. Francis Ford Coppola Winery, Geyserville, Sonoma County, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Cap is crazy.
Sedano is lazy. That's what's in.
Yeah.
Lindsay is mad. Laura is sad. That's in.
Okay, so what are the chances?
That is awesome.
Why was I sad?
Well, because you were working on the afternoon show.
Oh.
I did not say that.
Ding, ding. Yeah, boy, how'd you guys find that one? That's old
I don't
school.
even
Shout out
remember
to
that.
Carlo.
Carlo
I
found
don't
it.
even remember doing that.
No, I don't either, but it's good. We were good that day. So Ireland now, by the way, there's word out there that the Miami Dolphins may wind up trading Devonte Adams. I'm sorry, Tyreek Hill. So now Devonte Adams is out there. Tyreek Hill is out there.
Yeah, I think that's a terrible mistake if they trade Tyreek Hill. When Tua had that offense humming, Hill and Waddle on the other side with those two running backs, with A-Chain and Mostert, they were the leading offense in the NFL. Unless they know Tua's not coming back, and everything I've read is he is going to try and
Sounds
come
like
back.
he is, yeah.
I wouldn't trade Tyreek Hill.
Where are we with this? By the way, Tyreek Hill just when as a fantasy player, Tyreek Hill has not done a thing, and as an actual player, has not done a thing for a couple of weeks now.
He needs Tua.
Yeah, he does need Tua. Now the Dolphins are, I guess they're still alive.
Are they 1-3?
Dolphins are 1-3. That's right on the cusp of maybe we should trade our 30-year-old receiver.
That division is terrible outside of Buffalo.
Buffalo Jets are 2-2. Patriots 1-3. Dolphins 1-3.
I mean, win that division, you're going to the playoffs.
But if you're the Dolphins and you're looking in this saying, well, we're 1-3 and one team and 3 teams in the history of the last 20 years.
It's not like Tyreek Hill is 35. I mean, he's still in the
30.
prime of his career.
30.
Right, 30 is like 28 to 32, everybody says is the prime.
I think wide receiver is younger. Don't you think wide receiver is younger?
Maybe.
Like Cooper Kupp is 29.
Yeah, but he's had
30.
injury issues. I would not trade
Devonte
Tyreek
Adams
Hill.
is 32.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, wide receivers definitely do tail off at some point. If you're the Dolphins and you think you're not in it, and you can grab a high second-round pick for Tyreek Hill and some additional draft assets.
What if he goes back to the Chiefs?
Well, he's the favorite. If he's moved, the Chiefs are the heavy favorites to get him back.
But they'd have Xavier Worthy and Tyreek Hill. They'd have the 2 fastest guy in the league with Patrick Mahomes throwing to him.
Yeah.
Look out.
So the Rams, who are down a couple of big wide receivers, some people have said, hey, why don't the Rams get in on
speaking of trading.
On Devonte Adams. Now, here's the story. So Kara Henderson is Les Snead's wife.
Yeah, and used to work at the NFL Network. Really good reporter.
Yeah. And somebody reached out to her on Twitter with an idea for a trade, second-round pick. Here's a 5th-round pick, a 6th-round, whatever that was. So they tweeted it to Kara Henderson, who is Les's wife. And she tweeted back, let me get this straight. You want the GM's wife to forward a tweet to him, someone who has chosen not to have social media, telling him about things that he already knows about, with the undercurrent being that you want to tell him what to do on his job. Somebody tweeted back, said, can't imagine how busy he is. And I know he's got a lot on his plate.
Right.
Okay. Somebody tweeted back, and she said, let me tell you what is certainly not on his plate, my suggestions.
But I don't think that is directly attributable to Devonte Adams. I just think that she's...
Well, the idea in the original trade
Right.
was, here's how we get Devonte Adams, forward this to Les.
Yeah.
So just silly.
Yeah, I think Les needs a really good GM. I think everything's in play. And I think Kara is just making the same joke I always make.
Oh,
that
yeah.
If I try and tell Lisa what to do, it increases the odds she'll do the opposite.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I always take input. You take input into your jobs, right? Does
Yes.
Lisa give you input?
She does.
I get input every single day.
And then I discard what I don't want and keep going.
Yeah, there's a famous saying for that. It's use what you have to and ignore the rest.
Right.
Which is what I do. Sometimes you have to ignore advice. Don't you, Laura?
Sure.
She said.
She said
Sure.
convincingly.
Convincingly.
Sure.
Do you ever ignore any of Allison's advice, Brian?
Not Allison's advice, but other people, sure.
So you take every bit of Allison's
Right,
advice.
of course.
Yeah,
of course.
as do I. I take
Right.
every
Oh.
bit of Juan's
100%.
advice.
This sounds like the "You look great, honey" from Mason.
I do believe in the "You look great, honey."
100%.
Yeah.
I ignore Christian all the time when he's like, "Don't buy that." I'm buying it anyways.
So listen, we've got, normally we would do Wheel of Questions. Instead, today we've got Matthew Berry, the talented Mr. Roto,
Excellent.
dipping in. So if you've got a this or that, a fantasy football dilemma as we get ready and look ahead to the weekend tonight, it's Atlanta-Tampa. That's a Thursday night game on Amazon. If you've got a fantasy football dilemma, 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-ESPN, the greatest fantasy football resource in the world. Matthew Berry is coming up next. Mason and Ireland,
And-
710
Sorry.
yeah.
And when he comes on, it is presented by Fantasy Springs. Stay and play at Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, just minutes away from Palm Springs, which I know Ireland's going to be around there. Get your tickets to exciting live shows or book your stay today at FantasySpringsResort.com. Brought to you by Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino. And if we like your this or that the best, you will win this Fantasy Spring package that includes a 2-night stay for two, as well as your dinner, and you get golf or bowling. But make sure you only get a this or that, okay? Not 4 players.
Yeah, now I got 4 players for 3 spots. Don't do that one. That one annoys me. Just say I can play this guy, I can play that guy. Matthew Berry's coming up next. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN. Let me tell you about my Hyundai, which I love. So when I met with the Southern California Hyundai dealers and we partnered up, I tried all of their cars because I wanted to be an informed spokesperson here. So I drove the Sonata. I drove the Ioniq 6. Boy, that's a car. I drove the Santa Fe. And I ultimately wound up in the Elantra. I'm in an Elantra hybrid. I absolutely love it. I've got advantages like the class-exclusive digital key. I've got remote smart parking assist. And the deal with Hyundai is amazing. They want the road ahead to be as worry-free as possible, so you get complimentary maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles, plus 10 years of America's best warranty. In a brand-new Hyundai, there is joy in every journey. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or see your SoCal Hyundai dealer today. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
The LA Kings have a new home.
Hear the excitement of Kings hockey this season.
This fall, 710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app is your home for every moment of the Los Angeles Kings.
Hear the excitement of Kings hockey this season in only one place. Easy to access, easy to find, easy to enjoy every Kings game and your favorite Kings podcasts.
710 ESPN and the all-new ESPN LA app.
Hey guys, it's producer Lindsay. Listen up, sports fans. Gear up for your next game day hang with your friends. What's on the menu? Sliders, wings, chips, and salsa? Well, all your favorite game day foods go great with Stella Rosa wines, a semi-sweet and semi-sparkling wine that must be served chilled. Stella Rosa can be found at your local retailer, so remember to grab a couple bottles next time you shop. Nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. Please celebrate responsibly.
Just like in sports, you can never predict an accident. It will come when you least expect it. Travis Rogers here with DeMarco Farr to tell you about our friend, Joseph S. Normand.
If you're in any accident, call Joseph at 213-747-2000. The team at Normand Legal is ready to help you and achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Joseph at 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. The law office of Joseph S. Normand.
Hey, John Ireland here. If you've been thinking about selling your home, the real estate market is changing. Before you call an agent, call Seller's Advantage. Seller's Advantage is focused on the seller's needs and will make you a competitive cash offer and can close in days. No agents, no commissions. Getting your home ready to list can be expensive and complicated. You don't want a lot of people coming in and out of your house. Seller's Advantage makes the selling process easy so that the sellers walk away happy. They may even offer you a $10,000 advance to help with moving expenses. Get a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-2747 or go to sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison Sunday, October 6th for their live Rams postgame show from Ray's Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and party with Travis, Kirk, and ESPN LA fans. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Enjoy a postgame meal and drink at Ray's Lounge right after the game. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. Elevate your game. Must be 21 and older.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
All right, getting ready for week 5 of the NFL season. Hopefully your fantasy team is off to a good start. Either way, we've got the greatest resource there is in fantasy football, the great Matthew Berry online with us right now. Matthew, how are you, man?
Oh, he is coming up to his living room.
Coming up to his living room, so we will have him
okay.
in a moment.
Laura, you just let us know when he's back, okay?
So I had to do
I'm doing 2 or 3 things this week that are really stupid in fantasy that I'm curious. I want to have Matthew tell me how stupid they are.
So Jalen Hurts is on a bye for me, so I had to go back into the pool.
He's been terrible anyway.
Yeah. Well, no, he had 16 points last week. Even though it looks awful, he still scores points. There's Matthew. Matthew Berry, welcome. How are you, man?
I'm good. I was working in my basement, and we've had issues connecting. The internet here at my house is spotty, so had to go up to a place where I knew, or at least I hope, our connection.
Sounds good so far.
Yeah, you sound good. All right, Matthew, I'm doing. Well, actually, there are 3 things I'm doing this week that I think might be stupid, but they're all involving you. So I'll throw them at you. The first thing I'm doing is, long story short, I've been a Raider fan since I was at UCLA. I am looking for a new team. I've had it with the Raiders. I've really had it with their fans, who are all jerks. And so I'm adopting a new team. And I think the favorite for me to adopt, I don't want to pick a front runner team. I don't want to pick a team that everybody else is glomming onto. And I think where I'm about to land is with the Washington Commanders. They were 4-13 last year, so nobody can accuse me of being a front runner. But I love Jaden Daniels. You have been a lifelong Washington fan. Is it smart or stupid for me to adopt the Commanders moving forward?
I think it's smarter than stupider. If this were a year ago, I would say, but because Dan Snyder is no longer the owner.
Right.
I'm a big believer in Josh Harris and the ownership group he's put together.
Magic Johnson's part of that group.
Magic Johnson is part of that group, absolutely. Laker legend Magic Johnson. And yeah, Jaden Daniels is the truth. Of course, his full legal name, as you know, is future Hall of Famer, future Super Bowl winning quarterback Jaden Daniels.
All right, good. So
you feel good about that.
You're okay welcoming. Your bandwagon is open. You're okay welcoming people.
John, the water is warm. Come on in.
Okay.
You bet.
All right, now the other thing, I'll just group them together, are both fantasy decisions that you can tell me smart or stupid. I'm benching Joe Burrow and starting Sam Darnold, and I'm starting Kareem Hunt, even though he really hasn't done anything for 2 years. What do you think of that decision to play Darnold and Hunt?
I'm good with you, Ben. I'm good with you doing you starting Kareem Hunt. The New Orleans run defense has been so-so, and he did get the majority of work last week. He also had like about a 10% target share, which was weird because in Cleveland recently, Kareem Hunt was not used in the passing game at all. But at least so far with the Chiefs, because of the familiarity with Reed's system, they were using him somewhat like that. Losing Rashee Rice, there's just not a lot of trusted weapons right now in Kansas City, and Kareem Hunt, who's towards the end of his career, but still got the majority of the work in an Andy Reid offense. So without knowing your other running back options, I got no issue with that. I have Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt made the love list this week in my others receiving votes. So I'm on board with Kareem Hunt.
Darnold over Burrow. What do you think?
This week I wouldn't do that. So I have Burrow ranked over Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's been nothing short of fantastic. He's been a revelation and a believer. I don't think it's a fluke. It's a pass-friendly and fantasy-friendly offense under Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. Having said that, Darnold is playing the London game this week. I always feel like those are weird, and he's playing the Jets. He's playing an angry Jets team that just lost an embarrassing game to the Broncos last week. I have Darnold at QB 16. Meanwhile, Burrow is in a tough matchup against the Ravens, but if you look at the Ravens have the number one they have the number one run defense in the NFL, but they're a bottom 10 pass defense. I know they played lights out against the Bills at home last Sunday night, but the Bengals, as you know, their defense has been brutal. We saw Jaden Daniels light them up.
Right.
Andy Dalton moved the ball. Against them last week as well. So Lamar Jackson should have his way with the Bengals defense, which means Burrow is going to have to throw. I think game script works in Burrow's favor here. So I would start Burrow over Darnold this week.
Okay. So you may have talked me back into that.
A lot of people have Malik Neighbors, who's been a top 5 wide receiver so far. He's questionable now for Sunday. The one guy that, if you happen to have Wan'Dale Robinson on your roster, would you be in really good shape? Would you play Wan'Dale Robinson if Neighbors doesn't play?
I would play him even if Neighbors does play. But I agree with you, Mace. It doesn't feel like he's likely to play. Jordan Renan, who does a great job covering the Giants for ESPN, actually tweeted earlier that I think Neighbors, he said, was a long shot, I believe was the phrase he used, to play this weekend. Remember, he's in the concussion protocol, as you mentioned. The game's at Seattle this week. So it's just he's still early in the process of that concussion protocol. There's a lot of stages you have to get through. And so feels like if this game were in New York, maybe he's got a better chance, but you just don't want to put somebody who's in the concussion protocol in a 6.5-hour flight cross-country to Seattle or whatever it would be. So I think it's more likely than not Neighbors is out. But even if Neighbors is there, Wan'Dale Robinson is the real deal. He's had at least 11 fantasy points in 3 of the last 4. He's getting an over 20% target share, even with Neighbors having this massive target share. He's kind of this PPR cheat code. I mean, it's all near the line of scrimmage. His average depth of target is like under 7 yards. But again, that's their entire offense. Malik Neighbors deep, Wan'Dale Robinson underneath, and because their defense and Seattle's offense is so good, again, game script I think works in your favor there with Wan'Dale Robinson, especially because Devin Singletary, the Giants running back, is dealing with a groin issue. So even if he goes, he may not be 100%. Their offense may be going through Wan'Dale Robinson on Sunday.
All right, let's get to the calls. As usual, every line jammed for Matthew Berry. Here's Jackson in Orange County. Jackson, what's your question for Matthew?
Hey, guys, I was wondering if I should start Tyreek Hill or Xavier Worthy.
What do you think, Matthew?
Oh. I think you're still starting Tyreek Hill. I get the question, by the way. I just think, okay, here's how I'm breaking it down real quickly. I get that Xavier Worthy, without Rashee Rice, maybe his role expands, but he's still a rookie. Rookies, it wasn't until week 8 of last year that Rashee Rice, who had an amazing rookie year, played over 60% of the snaps. So they'll take a couple of deep shots to Xavier Worthy, but really that's going to be about it. Tyreek Hill's going to be on the field the whole time. Now, Christian Gonzalez on the other side for the Patriots, it's a tough matchup. The quarterback situation in Miami is brutal. Over the last 2 weeks, without Tua there, Tyreek Hill has been wide receiver 63.
Wow.
It's been bad.
Wow.
I know firsthand on this.
Yeah. Oh, it's been brutal. And I have Tyreek Hill at wide receiver 25 this week, which I think is the lowest I've ever ranked him in my life. So
wow,
he's
that's
a
interesting.
Mid-tier wide receiver. He's a mid-tier wide receiver 3 for me. But again, you're talking about two guys that are both big play players, but just Tyreek Hill's going to play 85 to 90% of the snaps, and Xavier Worthy's probably going to play 35 to 40%. So I get that one guy has Mahomes and the other one's got Snoop Huntley, but I'm hoping that Tyreek Hill, they do some bubble screens, they do some jet sweeps, some reverses. They just try to get the ball in his hands different ways, and so I would go with Tyreek Hill there.
All right, here's Spencer in San Clemente. Spencer, what's your question for Matthew Berry?
Hey, Matthew Berry, Brock Purdy or Anthony Richardson?
Brock Purdy, not close.
Yeah,
by the
Purdy's
way, we're not 100%. Yeah, Purdy's great, and it's a really good matchup against Arizona. Purdy's been nothing short of fantastic. He's got a full complement of weapons. We just saw what Jaden Daniels, and obviously they're very different quarterbacks, but we just saw what Jaden Daniels did with his arm against Arizona. It's a secondary that really struggles. Debo, Kittle, Ayuk, Jordan Mason, Jawan Jennings. Brock Purdy has the full complement of receivers. Meanwhile, Anthony Richardson might not even play. He's dealing with that hip pointer. He's questionable for Sunday. And Richardson, by the way, hasn't been great fantasy-wise when he's been out there. So I think it's Brock Purdy, and honestly, I don't think it's close.
All right, here's Alex in L.A. Hey, Alex, what's your question for Matthew Berry?
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call. I'm between Devin A-Chain and Brian Thomas. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Devin A-Chain or Brian Thomas, Matthew?
So crazy to think about how fantasy football changes, right? Because before the season, you'd have been like, what are you talking about? But I'm going to say Brian Thomas. Again, so that game, that Miami game that we just talked about with Tyreek Hill, it's the over-under is like 35.5. We don't expect a lot of scoring between the Dolphins and the Patriots. And so Achane, who, again, hasn't been great since Tua Tagovailoa went down. Meanwhile, Brian Thomas has been has had double-digit fantasy points in 3 of the last 4 games. It's a good matchup against Indianapolis. He's got at least a 20% target share in 3 of the 4 games as well. I thought Lawrence looked better last week. The Jaguars' offense looked better. Brian Thomas, I think just because he came into a class that had Malik Nabers and had Marvin Harrison Jr., and he's in a small market, 0-14, just people aren't paying attention to Brian Thomas. But he is the real freaking deal. He is a superstar, and I think he's an every week no-brainer. I don't care who they're playing starter in fantasy. He is ridiculous. And honestly, he was wide open for a long pass last week that Lawrence just missed him on. And in week 1, he completely boat raced Jalen Ramsey, and then Ramsey kind of tackled him in the end zone, so it was a pass interference play. But if he catches a touchdown on both those plays, which he should have, again, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But my point is his stat line looks a lot better than it does now, and it still looks pretty good. So Brian Thomas is a every week, I don't care who they're playing starter for me.
Okay, last one is Adam in Foothill Ranch. Adam, you're on 710 with Matthew Berry.
Hey, guys. This used to be a no-brainer, but Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow?
I agree with you, and you're gonna be surprised, but it's Joe Burrow. And I also, by the way, don't think it's that close.
Wow, really?
Whoa.
I'm switching Burrow right now. I'm playing Burrow right now based on this conversation.
Hey, real quick, Adam in Foothill Ranch wins our Fantasy Springs prize package. There you go. All right.
Hey, there you go. Congrats. If I can for just a second.
Sure.
First off, Saints really good pass defense, and I have a crazy stat. Over the last 15 weeks, this is dating back to last year. Guess how many times Patrick Mahomes has finished the week as a top 10 fantasy quarterback? Meaning at the end of the week, we rank all the quarterbacks and like, hey, this guy was 8th in fantasy points. Over the last 15 games, dating all the way back to last year, how many times do you think Patrick Mahomes has been a top 10 fantasy quarterback in any given week?
Well, because you're asking it that way, I'll say it's probably less than half. I'll say 7.
Mace?
I will say 4.
Once.
What?
He's done it once.
Whoa!
He's done it once. He was I think he was QB8 in week 9 of last year. He's done it once. And I'm just going to give you a list of people that have just a small list.
That's
not a comprehensive
astounding.
List. But in that same time frame, Joe Flacco has done it 4 times. Jake Browning did it 5 times last year. Tyrod Taylor did it twice. Here's a couple of quarterbacks that have done it once, the same number as Patrick Mahomes. Desmond Ridder. Let's see.
This is
Tommy
one of the
DeVito,
great stats of
Tommy
all time.
Cutlett.
I would have bet my house that wasn't true.
It is. I understand that. It's crazy, but for the brilliance of Patrick Mahomes, and he is one of, if not the greatest quarterback of all time, if you took all the NFL players and put them into an actual NFL draft, and you told all the NFL teams you could have Patrick Mahomes go number 1 overall, I get that. He is all sorts of magic, but in terms of pure fantasy production, they went run heavy last year, and this year they're just not throwing a ton. Part of the problem is their defense is so good, so they haven't gotten into shootouts. And part of the problem, and he's not running as much, and he also just hasn't been there. Like they because of the emergence of Isaiah Pacheco, he hasn't had to throw as much. They're running more effectively, they're playing defense more effectively, and it's obviously last year their receiving core was very inconsistent. This year they find something with Rice, but then Rice goes down. Kelsey was doing nothing the first couple of weeks. Like, look at the numbers. It's unbelievable. He hasn't over that time frame. He hasn't even been he's not a top 10 quarterback on a points per game basis. He's my QB 14 this week. It's not a great matchup with the Saints. Like, yeah, it's Joe Burrow, and it's not that close this weekend.
Okay, last thing.
Patrick Mahomes is no longer a must start in fantasy. He's no longer a must start in fantasy.
That's
okay,
crazy.
I've got a friend who's got.
Is it you?
Got Jalen Hurts on bye, and there were no quarterbacks left in the pool except for Andy Dalton. Does that guy have a chance to win his game this week?
Sure. Andy Dalton's got over 20 fantasy points in the last 2 weeks. Tough matchup on the road at Chicago, but Andy Dalton is, and I say this respectfully, is a professional quarterback. And you think about what Dave Canales, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, has done in his career. Last year, offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, had a professional quarterback in Baker Mayfield. Boom. Fantasy success, NFL success. The year before that, he's in Seattle. Geno Smith, another journeyman who bounced around. Geno Smith, he resurrects Geno Smith's career. Geno Smith was a professional quarterback. So I think it's just if you're in Dave Canales' system and you're a professional quarterback, you can be competent. And so Andy Dalton is like a solid mid-tier QB2 as long as he's got the job in Carolina, and certainly this week. You don't love the matchup at Chicago, but there are much worse quarterbacks out there than Andy Dalton, and there's a reasonable chance that Andy Dalton outscores Patrick Mahomes this week, as he has each of the last 2 weeks. He has the last 2 weeks.
you have opened my eyes to Mahomes, and I'm like Matthew. I'm like you. I'm a huge Mahomes fan, but that's weird that it's weird in fantasy.
Yeah.
It just doesn't transfer.
By the way, you're listening to Kaz You're listening to KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Before we get you out here, Matthew, you've got so much stuff. Obviously, Fantasy Life newsletter I get every single day. It's one of the first things I check in my
old
inbox.
School Sunday night game. Matthew's a part of those Sunday night games on NBC. Cowboys-Steelers. It's like a 70s revisit. Matthew, where else can people find you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll be in Pittsburgh this Sunday for that game. It's going to be a great one. You can check out my my show, Fantasy Football Happy Hour, wherever you get your podcast. It's also on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel. Sunday morning Fantasy Football pregame, 11 to 1 Eastern. Just before kickoff, we answer a bunch of questions. Fantasy Football pregame, again, on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel and Peacock. And then the last thing I'll mention here is that one of the things that we do at Fantasy Life is we have a thing called guillotine leagues. Have you ever heard of a guillotine league?
No, what is it?
Very quickly, guillotine leagues is its way to play fantasy football. It's super fun. You have a league. You draft a team like normal. You start your lineup like normal. The twist here is you don't play head-to-head. You're just basically starting your lineup against everyone else in the league. At the end of the week, the team with the lowest score gets cut.
Oh,
I love that. Oh, we should do one for the show.
You 100% can. And you can go to guillotineleagues.com. It's 100% free to play. You can start any week you want, because you're not playing head-to-head. As long as you have one more team in the league than weeks left in the season. So you could do a league for week 6 that's a 12-team league. Here's the other twist, guys, that makes it so much fun.
Okay.
The team that gets cut every single week, all the players on that team go back into the free agent pool. So, it's like this week, some of the guys, some of the teams,
love it.
Yeah, like Josh Allen, Breece Hall, and CeeDee Lamb, who all had poor games last week, they're all on the free agent wire in a bunch of my guillotine leagues. So
that's awesome, man.
It is the most fun way I've ever played fantasy football. As I said, I liked it so much. I played it last year, and I liked it so much, I bought the company.
Oh, that's
fantastic,
went out and
man.
bought the company. It's so good.
That's great.
Anyway, again, free to play, guillotineleagues.com.
All right. Thanks, Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew.
Have fun in Pittsburgh. Jealous that you get to go to that game. All right, man. Have a great weekend.
Cool. There's Matthew. Very talented Mr. Roto. You can get him everywhere.
That news about Mahomes is just stunning to me.
Yeah.
One time in 15 weeks, he's been a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
He's just.
And people take him in the second round.
I was going to take him in the first round.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna break our record for most calls in 30 minutes.
That is true.
Because we're gonna go into sports graffiti right now. 877.
No break?
No, we'll do a break. But yeah, no. You want to just let's blow out the break. All right. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-ESPN. Whatever you got. Dodgers-Padres on Saturday. Dylan Cease versus Jack Flaherty. You got the USC Trojans at Minnesota. 8.5-point favorites on Saturday. You got the Rams. They are home to Green Bay. Rams are 3-point dogs. Raiders. Where are the Raiders? No, I won't. We don't have any resident Raider fans here. No Bergman.
Bergman coming on at 3.
Okay, so Bergman will be coming up. But anything is fair. 877-710-ESPN. And reminder, it's the ESPN LA Dream Ticket presented by Stella Rosa. Enter for a chance to win a dream ticket experience to the biggest game of the college football season. Go to ESPNLADreamTicket.com for your chance to enter. Now through November 30th, Stella Rosa wine, sweet taste of victory. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Sedano and Cap.
Today at 3 p.m. after Mason and Ireland.
Are you a thug, Cappy?
What do you think?
I mean, I don't see you that way, but, maybe. You never know.
You don't think I'm a thug?
Nah, I don't think you are. I mean, Trick Daddy loves the kids, but he's singing about his days being a thug. Like, I don't feel like that's you. I mean, you love the kids. I mean, you were a Little League coach at one point. You don't know nothing about no Trick Daddy.
Hey, listen, Trick Daddy, let me tell you something about Trick Daddy. You may not realize this, but as far as magicians go, he was one of the best.
Oh, my God.
He will cut a lady in half.
Come on.
He'll pull a rabbit out of a hat. He got card tricks. Trick Daddy. That's thug life right there.
I feel like if Cappy if that name wasn't taken, Cappy would have loved that name as a rapper.
Oh, hell yeah.
Trick Daddy.
The LA Afternoon Takeover. That's Sedano and Cap.
On 710 ESPN.
Park Party and Play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room, now open 24/7. Tune in all this week to Travis and DeMarco to win an ultimate game day prize pack from Hollywood Park Casino that includes this Sunday's tailgate party passes at the casino and game day tickets at SoFi. Listen for your cue to call 877-710-ESPN, and don't miss your chance to win the ultimate game day prize pack. Hollywood Park Casino, Park Party and Play, must be 21 years or older.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL, realfathersrights.com/710, or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights, the Father's Rights Attorneys.
One of LA's best kept secrets in the heart of Los Angeles, East Central Hotel offers effortless accommodations and unparalleled accessibility. The East Central Hotel is for everyone looking for entertainment with their trendy, spacious rooms, a renovated gym, and a patio lounge for breakfast, dinner, and drinks. Stop by their incredible Nixo Lounge before your next event at LA Live. Book your stay at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291 today at Entertainment's official address.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
All right, it's time for some sports graffiti. That means anything goes. We know the Dodgers matchup on Saturday. We'll get to that. Dodgers versus Padres. The team we didn't want to face is the team we're going to see on Saturday. Let us start out with Shane. Shane, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go ahead, Shane.
Hey, guys. Happy NFL Thursday. I just wanted to share a pretty cool story that happened to me this weekend. So a few of my buddies and I went to Chicago to see the Rams game, and we went to Wrigley Field on Saturday, and we stopped by a bar in Wrigleyville, and we're standing there grabbing a couple beers. My buddy goes, "Hey, is that Aaron Paul?" And I'm like, kind of looks like him. And then we look over, and Bryan Cranston's walking in with a camera crew, and they were there promoting Dos Hombres. So got the chance to meet them. They were the coolest guys, like the nicest guys
they're the
in the
best.
world.
Yeah.
And just had a great experience. So just want to tell you guys that.
Hey, Shane, did you tell Brian? Did you tell Brian that you know us?
Yeah, I actually asked him if they were going to go to the Rams game, and he mentioned, he was like, "Oh, I forgot, Rams Sunday, but we're not." And I said, "Oh yeah, we're from LA. We listen to you guys on the radio all the time." Definitely mentioning you guys. And
I was going to say, if you mentioned us and he was still talking to you, that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. Yeah.
But Aaron Paul, I met him at a party once.
He's
Could not
such
be
a
nicer.
cool guy.
And his girlfriend, who I think is now might be his wife, unless they broke up. I don't know.
I don't know.
Is super cool.
Yeah,
too.
I'll say this too. They launched Dos Hombres at SoFi Stadium, so you can get Dos Hombres there. I assume that might have been what they were doing at the Bears game as well, was launching Dos Hombres. All right, let's go to Thomas. Thomas, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go ahead, Thomas.
Hey, you know what needs to happen? These players need to stop crying and just because they don't like something, they want to move here, move there. Now, if Tyreek would have stayed his butt in the Chiefs, he probably wouldn't have went down there and got his butt whooped. And Paul George, he just – they don't stay put. They act like crybabies. They want a couple of more dollars. Bronny James needs to go back to USC and get his degree.
All right, thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
I actually disagree with Thomas. I don't begrudge anybody for going out and getting more money.
No, I don't either.
You do you, people. If you can get a better deal somewhere else, go for it.
Plus, they traded Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
It's not like Tyreek Hill said, "Get me out."
Yeah.
Let's go to where are we going? Let's go to Nick. Nick, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, gentlemen, I just want to say everyone knows LA's a Dodger town. LA is a Raider town, but most of all, it's a Laker town, and October means our boys are coming back, and we have the faith, 82-0, the way we feel every year at the beginning. John, you my five-head, you my Bruin, fellow Bruin. I want to wish you the best of luck. I want to wish you safe travels. And I'm super excited about every year since I was a little kid. I'm in my almost 60s now, and I love the Lakers and can't wait for it. What's your take on the Karl Anthony Towns trade? I didn't hear it yet.
Oh, yeah. I think that if Towns stays healthy, the Knicks win the trade. But he has missed at least 20 games for the last 4 years in a row. So that's the whole key to the trade. If he stays an unbelievable player, he stays healthy, Knicks win the trade. If he doesn't, then Randall and DiVincenzo are both really good.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to see all of them tomorrow night. And I'm going to see them all again on opening night at
right.
Crypto.
Now, that means you'll see Julius Randle, right?
Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo will. I don't know if they'll play in the game tomorrow, but they're at camp. They're in practice. So, and then I'm sure they'll play on opening night here.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Stan. Stan, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go ahead, Stan.
Hey, guys. Happy to see the Dodgers are the underdogs in Vegas for this series. Maybe it'll switch us around a little bit. Not thrilled with who's our starting pitcher as the first game. Actually, I like what Hershiser was talking about, how Buehler loves big games, and he looked really good last time. I just think that first game is critical in this series.
All right, thanks, Stan. You could not pay me to start Walker
there's
Buehler
no way
in the
I'm
first game of a
starting
playoff
Buehler.
series.
Your most consistent starter, and I know you had a bad start down the stretch, your most consistent starter is the guy you got from the Tigers midseason, which was Jack Flaherty. That's the right guy.
Pitching in his first playoff game in his hometown at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
Give me Flaherty all day long.
Okay, let's get one more in here. Let's go to DJ. DJ, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go ahead, DJ.
Hey, I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Can the Dodgers pick up Max Fried? Isn't he a free agent or something next year?
There's already speculation that the Dodgers will be in on Max Fried. I've seen a gigantic number attached to his name.
By the way, Max Fried and Jack Flaherty were high school teammates at Harvard Westlake, and so was Lucas Giolito. They had 3 Major League pitchers on that team at the same time. So I'd love to see Max Fried go to the Dodgers. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, he is projected, at least, to sign a contract worth $149 million, is what people are suggesting. $149 million. Estimates now are in the $200 million range. Now, do the Dodgers just keep buying pitchers? I guess they do, right? During the offseason.
Not my money.
Just keep buying new arms as they continue to break down. All right, let's dig into that San Diego Dodgers series coming up next. It starts on Saturday at Dodger Stadium. Also, how much does Amazon spend? How much does Shaq spend on Amazon? We got that coming up, too. Plus, Michelle Smallman's going to join us. So everything's on the board here. We'll do a little gambling with Michelle. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Hey guys, it's Cappy here, and I want to talk about my friend Avner Gatt, a public adjuster. Now, many of you guys